session and we will continue with our meeting. Next item on the agenda is the approval of regular session minutes. They are from Monday, July 6, 2015.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for Monday, July 16th in regular session.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Courtney, pull the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Jolda?
Yes.
Selectman Degevich?
Yes.
Chairman Bork?
Abstain. Next minutes were from executive session, July 6, 2015.
I'll make a motion that we hold off on approving the minutes for the executive session July 6th.
Is there a second?
Why do you want to hold off on that?
Pending review.
I thought this was one that we were fine with.
Okay.
Well, we can approve it pending review.
Yeah, approve it pending review.
All right, second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve pending review. Any other discussion?
I'm just wondering what more we want to review. I'm just of the opinion that most of this, from what I gather, is public knowledge, unless anybody can see otherwise.
I agree, but we send it, just okay if you want.
So is the just so I understand, the motion is to approve pending
Review.
review by town council
Correct.
to see if it can be released?
Correct.
Okay.
Is there anything you feel is sensitive in this that isn't public knowledge already?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there any other discussion? Courtney, pull the board.
Selectman Becker?
No. No.
Selectman Starzak?
No.
Selectman Jolda?
Yes.
Selectman Degevich?
Yes.
Chairman Bork?
Abstain. So, yeah.
Could I make a motion to approve the executive session and release them to the public?
You just did.
Well, that was the other way.
Just got approved.
And release them to the public as part of the other motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to
Release to the public.
Any other discussion? Courtney, pull the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Jolda?
I'll vote yes.
Selectman Degevich?
Yes.
Chairman Bork?
Abstain. Next meeting minutes were from Saturday, July 18th.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of Saturday, July 18th for regular session at Memorial Beach.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Courtney, pull the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Jolda?
Abstain.
Selectman Degevich?
Yes.
Chairman Bork?
Yes. Next item on the agenda is Barbara Katori, appointment to the ADA committee. Barbara, I just saw her. Oh, there you are. Come on up. How are you? Don't be nervous. Welcome. We received your letter as a request, and I don't, if it does it, do any other members of the board have any questions for Mrs. Katori?
Thought we had approved this at the last meeting.
Yeah, I think
we've already approved it.
We already put the
So, meet and greet, I suppose. So,
Oh.
thank you for getting involved. We appreciate having membership on all of our boards for sure, especially where you have personalized experience. And sorry about your disability, but we appreciate your firsthand knowledge helping out.
I appreciate the opportunity
So-
to be able to contribute.
So, thanks for coming before us. I guess shame on us for not alerting the chair that we already approved her.
The chair wasn't there, so sorry.
So, psych.
Well, at least you didn't point me to another pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
Miriam Picarato is the chairman, and she'd like to come
Oh,
up.
sure, would you like to say a few words? Please, come forward.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to review what the group has done in the past year. The group initially was established April 5th, 2014 by the Board of Selectmen here in Webster. I was appointed chairperson. Laurie Shaloni was selected as secretary. We have 4, maybe now 5 members. We hold meetings the third Monday of every month at 5 o'clock here in the town hall. They're open meetings, so they're posted in the town clerk's office for anybody to attend. The definition of a disabled and handicapped as we see it is any from either birth, disease, trauma, illness, that they're physical or mental, they have physical or mental limitations that don't allow them to access facilities as an able-bodied person. And the intent of the group is to make sure that all the ADA laws and regulations for both public and private facilities are there so that everybody can access. What the purpose of the committee is not a police. We don't go around with a tape measure. We become as a liaison to people that don't even know where to go for services. There's Mass Rehab, there's the Center for Independent Living and Working, there's the Elder Handicap Van, there's different resources that people don't know, especially somebody that's not been disabled from birth. Whether they've had a stroke or anything or an accident, they don't know what to do. The families don't know what to do. So they're kind of floundering. So we help. I've met with different groups within the community, the St. Vincent de Paul, and I've got a number of referrals of handicapped people in crisis that went to them that I was able to disseminate information. We don't provide services. You know, we just act as a liaison. The activities that we had in this past year in September, I held an awareness meeting up at Golden Heights. We invited the residents from Golden Heights 1 and 2, Slater Estates, North Village, Second Island, to come just to make them aware that we exist and to let them know that they were out there and how to contact us if need be. In February of 2015, there was a workshop held at Golden Heights that was presented by Jeffrey Dugan. He's the Assistant Director of Community Services out of the Boston Office on Disabilities. And it was an emergency preparedness, which the timing couldn't have been better with what the winter we've had. And everybody that attended got these emergency packets, which were just unbelievable. And the information that was disseminated was really, it was well received, and there's a definite need for that. What do we have upcoming? The 22nd, this Wednesday, I'll be going to Boston. It's the 25th anniversary of the signing of the ADA Act. So there's a big celebration going on there. In Worcester on Saturday, there's going to be a celebration there at Union Station. It'll be an all-day event. And then August 5th, I'm back in Boston for a seminar for the chairmen for all the ADA committees and commissions throughout the state. My only thing, because there's been so many changes within the group, we've come up, because it's been accepted by the selectmen. We come under the guidelines of the directives of the Mass Department on Disabilities. And that comes under Mass General Law 40, Section 8J. Because of the changes, we are in need of a sitting selectman on our committee. Bob Miller was the selectman for the past year. So now, that's a requirement, that we need that. Jeff Dugan also mentioned that he will make himself available to come to a selectmen's meeting whenever, to go over other directives that need to be accommodated. The Board of Selectmen selected a coordinator for the town of Webster. Unfortunately, she resigned the day of the first meeting. She's still listed in Boston as the coordinator. I was selected chairperson. There was never any mention about coordinator or anything like that. So, number one, we need to get a selectman that would be willing to come to the meetings and sit on the committee. And second, to address the coordinator position so that we can maintain some credibility within the town and expand on what we do. I haven't set up an agenda for this year coming because we kind of got holes in the group. So we'll be meeting again in September. We're not going to meet in August. But I think those are the two major things that we're looking to get established.
So maybe we can add that to our next meeting, and see if there's someone who's interested and also work on the coordinator.
What time
What
are
we
your
need to do
meetings?
at
What's
5.
that?
At 5, you said,
5
right?
o'clock.
5
The
o'clock.
meeting's at 5.
Yeah, and they last maybe an hour, if that. Even if we have something
Right.
coordinated, it seems to go fairly quickly. And the ideal size of the group is no less than 4, but no more than 9.
Right. And you're not meeting in August at all? You're not
No.
meeting until September?
No, because
Okay.
with the empty spot that we now have, and, there was a lot going on, I says we better kind of wait till September. Most groups throughout the state don't meet every single month.
Right.
You're required to at least 12 meetings a year. So, we've taken the summer off, we'll meet again in September.
Sure. Any questions from the board? Thank you so much for all you do.
Thank
And
you.
good luck. We didn't even have to do anything. Thank you, good luck. Next item on the agenda is Bill Burke, Sewer Superintendent, Water and Sewer Abatement.
Good evening, gentlemen. I do have I believe there's 6 abatements here. 3 of them, I believe, are technicalities. They were misread. If we could go through those first, I'd appreciate it.
Sure.
First one would be 1402 Thompson Road. As explained here, the sewer was billed in error.
You want us to take a vote on them individually, or?
Yes, administratively, I believe these have already been removed from the list,
Oh,
but
they
you do
have.
need to approve them.
Okay.
Right.
Make motion approved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve. Any other discussion? Courtney, call the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starsik?
Yes.
Selectman Jordan?
Yes.
Selectman Duggan?
Yes.
Chairman Bork?
Yes.
Okay, the next one was 52 Point Pleasant Road. There was an error in the reading.
What was the error?
I'm not exactly sure. What happened is the homeowner made a phone call, and this is after the bills were sent out, and they went through it, and if you look at, this is Michelle's handwriting, and it was an error. I think it might have been doubled. One of them was doubled, and one of them was this
It
might be
says
the,
new head, new radio sealed meter, so is that, you proved there was a defective meter? Is that what we're
Yeah, they-
led to believe?
yeah,
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Courtney, call the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Jolda?
Yes.
Selectman Degevich?
Yes.
Chairman Ford?
Yes.
The next one was 148 Corey Road, and sewer charge in error. It's a seasonal, and it was not made inactive.
So I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion?
Real quick, could you just explain if it was made inactive, how there's still a charge on it?
It was not made inactive.
It was not made inactive.
Yes, that was the problem. I understand the building is empty.
But even if it wasn't made inactive, wouldn't there be no water consumption, so there wouldn't be any?
There's a minimum. I believe this is above the minimum, but I'm not exactly sure. It's a double charge. This is what she wrote, that the sewer was a double charge, and it shouldn't have even been inactive.
I think I'm just a little confused because I'm thinking.
Yeah, I
if
was a
it's-
little confused. These normally don't slip through. These are, once again, these were actually built, so they were put into the.
So can we just hold off on this one then until we find out why, if it was an inactive property because it was seasonal? Because I just think if I'm leaving my house for the winter time, if the water isn't running, that meter shouldn't be spinning. That's my understanding of it.
I'll be glad to hold
Okay.
this one back.
Yeah, I'd feel more comfortable if we could just table this one until we figure
Mr.
out,
Chairman?
unless I'm wrong.
I believe that in the Munis system, this is a seasonal property. However, in the Munis billing system, it was not listed as seasonal, so it wasn't inactivated. So the system, if it doesn't see a reading, it will still do a minimum charge.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's what
Nothing
was,
to do with the reading.
that's what was generated, was a minimum bill.
Okay, thank you very much. That makes much more sense.
All right.
Is there a motion?
I think
It was already made
had
and
motions.
Oh, motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion?
Select-
Courtney?
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes,
Selectman Jolda?
Yes.
Selectman Degevich?
Yes.
Chairman Ford?
Yes.
sorry to put you on the hot seat, Bill.
No, that's quite all right. All right, the next one was 43 Lake Parkway. I recommended for this. The homeowner called, Doran Kraus, the acting water superintendent, actually went to the house, met with the homeowner. Shortly after he called, within a half an hour, they went into his basement. And sure enough, about a foot downstream from the meter, the water was spraying into the air. It had been leaking. He does have it was going right into a sump pump and was getting pumped out. So I did recommend approval on this one.
The property location is 31 Whitcomb Street.
Okay, excuse me, 31 Whitman Street.
Oh.
excuse me.
So sewer abatement only, as I see it.
Correct.
I
So they
believe
would have got, yeah, there's a check mark by the sewer, so they would have only gotten charged for the water.
For the water usage.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve. Any other discussion? Courtney, call the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Jolda?
Yes.
Selectman Degevich?
Yes.
Chairman Ford?
Yes.
Okay, the next one was 80 Main Street, also the high-low gas station. His statement indicated that he had a pressure regulating valve that was defective. They came in and they fixed it. This instance here was personally investigated by the town planner engineer. He originally got the call from them. He went down. The water came in and it went through the meter and it went into the sewer. So I do not recommend that they get an abatement.
So this was a defective fitting on, is this like a car wash or something? Is that what I'm
Yeah.
led to believe?
Yeah, he has a high water volume. It's
Yes.
very high. It's 40,000 cubic feet on average. Average, yeah, 40,000 cubic feet. It was some sort of pressure regulating valve. And the statement from his plumber is they fixed it. But it was investigated, and the water went through our meter and it went into our sewer.
I did speak to the Hilo Gas owner who called me, and then you had gone down and
Yes.
talked to him.
The town planner engineer went down.
Okay. So, his conversation with me was he could not fix it because it was frozen. The ground was frozen. It was in the middle of winter or something like that. Did he mention any of that to you?
No, I mean, the statement from the plumber, it indicates to me that everything was inside. There was a, this is the third page of the abatement. The pressure was at 90 pounds, which is over the pressure rating for the float valve. Because of the high pressure coming to the building, the float valve was held open, blah, blah, blah. From what I know about plumbing, and I do know substantial amount. The water comes into the house, into the building. You do have a pressure regulating valve there. That's your responsibility. There's many people throughout the system that have pressure regulating valves. It's a somewhat common device, because there are areas of town where the pressure is high.
So I would think also it's their due diligence to check their system periodically for leaks and make sure that it's not draining into the sewer.
I would agree with you on that, yes.
So in that case, if we agree with his ruling, well, we could just, no action, right?
What's the pleasure of the board? No action.
Make a
I
motion
still
to
think that you need to, Mr. Chairman, take a vote to
Yes,
uphold.
ma'am.
approve the recommendation of the sewer superintendent.
I'll make a motion to approve the recommendation of the water sewer superintendent.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded to approve. Any other discussion?
And just for clarity, we would be approving the recommendation to deny the abatement.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Courtney, pull the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Jolda?
Yes.
Selectman Degevich?
Yes.
Chairman Board?
Yes. Thank you.
There's one more letter.
Oh, there is.
Yes, this one is at 35 Bayview Road. The service line was frozen. The water department went out and they unfroze it. They defrosted it for him using their steam jetty. And the homeowner was advised that due to the depth of his service line, he needed to keep the water running. So he kept the water running and he threw a hose out his window until the severe weather passed. So the water was consumed, but it did not go into the sewer. So we averaged out his bill, and the bill amount above the average, he's asking that the sewer charge be abated for $147.20.
That service line, is that something that we would have been responsible for in the installation when the home was built?
No.
So they would essentially come to us for a permit for the connection fee, and then their contractor would determine the depth of that line, right?
Yes, but before that trench was backfilled, it should have been inspected by someone from the water department.
So possibly that was missed and it was buried deeper than should have been.
It was buried
I mean, this
shallow,
looks like
yeah.
it's pretty clear cut. I'm just wondering why kind of one person would have an issue when there's, you know, however many thousand residents connected, you know?
I believe that this work was done by the homeowner,
Uh-huh.
so it wasn't dug to the proper depth.
But it
However,
was- I'm sorry.
I was to say, however, if it wasn't signed off correctly by the water department, it's
Yes.
two wrongs make a right.
But the water department recommended that they leave the water on so that it
Yes.
continued to flow, so that,
Yeah, right.
I make a motion to approve.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded to approve. Any other discussion? Courtney, pull the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Jolda?
Yes.
Selectman Degevich?
Yes.
Chairman Board?
Yes.
I thank you for your
Thank
time,
you.
gentlemen.
Thank you.
Acting Town Administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Whoops. Thank you. I attended a Board of Health meeting on Monday, July 6th. I held a DPW team meeting on Tuesday, July 7th, and a finance team meeting on Tuesday, July 7th. I participated in our first session of dispatcher contract negotiations on Tuesday, July 7th. I attended a SWEC Board of Directors meeting on Thursday, July 9th. I attended the Joint Board of Selectmen Finance Committee meeting on Monday, July 13th. I attended a Library Building Committee meeting on Tuesday, July 14th. I attended the Retirement Board meeting on Wednesday, July 15th. I attended a Police Fire Building Committee meeting on Thursday, July 16th. Another SWEC Board of Directors meeting on Friday, July 17th, and attended the Board of Selectmen meeting this past Saturday. Under departmental updates or announcements, under Town Accountant, the town's auditors were here on Wednesday, July 8th, to begin the FY 2015 audit by reviewing payroll and accounts payable documentation. They will return in October to perform most of the required audit field work. Under the town collector, again, just a reminder, FY16 first quarter real estate and personal property tax bills are due on Monday, August 3rd. The town hall will be open, of course, from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. that day. Under the police, the, excuse me, 32nd Annual National Night Out Crime and Drug Prevention event will be held on Tuesday, August 4th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Memorial Beach. In addition to the Webster Police Department and the Webster and Paxton K-9 units, the following departments and/or organizations will be on site: Webster and Dudley Fire Departments, Webster EMS, Webster Dudley Boys and Girls Club, a race car, that should say car, from Thompson Speedway, Community Health Link, Webster Community for Success, Enough Abuse Campaign, a bouncy obstacle course, a dunk tank. I think they're looking for people for the dunk tank, gentlemen. Clown,
Ladies first.
DJ Vite, face painting, a selfie booth, and other events are scheduled. There will be food and beverages as well as snow cones and popcorn given away, and this event is free to the public. Again, railroad crossing rehabilitation, just a reminder that the Providence and Worcester Railroad Company will be undergoing construction at their Main Street crossing from Monday, July 27th through Friday, July 31st. Detour signs will be posted, and flyers have been delivered, that was 2 weeks ago, have been delivered to Main Street businesses, and Mafre Insurance was notified. Under the sewer department has begun cleaning the collection system using the newly purchased high-pressure sewer jetter. The initial phase of the cleaning program focuses on known trouble areas within the collection system. As of Friday, July 10th, approximately 7,347 feet, or 1.4 miles, of the 20,065 feet, or 3.8 miles of sewer line categorized as trouble areas has been cleaned. Among the areas cleaned were East Main Street, West Main Street, Maynard Avenue, and Granite Street. Cleaning will continue for the remainder of the calendar year at the rate of 3 or 4 days per week while the weather conditions remain favorable. The Recreation Committee's Summer Concert Series, the Recreation Committee's 2015 Summer Concert Series continued last week with, unfortunately, an indoor performance by the Auburn Sons Trio. Concerts are held at the French River Park on Wednesday evenings from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m., and this week's performance will feature Mark Mandeville and Rian Richards. Under follow-up items, we had the Indian Ranch noise complaints, and there is an email from the town engineer planner in your packet, and at your request, Mr. Charpentier will attend the meeting on August 3rd. And under informational items, we had correspondence from Ms. Manzi from Beacon Park, and I've included a response from the water superintendent for your review.
Any questions from the acting town administrator?
Pam, could you just give us a brief rundown of if there's anything going on with the DPWT meetings and anything going on down there important?
For DPW?
Yeah, how are they making out? Because I know obviously since the override didn't pass and we're still probably what Mr. Pizzetti would consider an understaffed crew, are they still holding their own down there?
Oh,
As far
yes.
as,
Actually, the paving program is well underway. Mr. Pizzetti and his crew have paved, I believe it's 4, maybe 5 streets. The latest one last week was Maynard Avenue. These are all on our pavement management program. And again, with staffing, it takes the entire crew to pave. Our gentlemen do this in-house. We have our own in-house paver, and these are some of the smaller streets or projects that they can do themselves.
could you just get a hold of that schedule and have it forwarded to the board so we can see?
For this year?
Yeah, just see which
Mhm.
roads are on the horizon. I know we've gone through that in previous years as far as what was getting hot topped and what was getting that double crack seal and every other term they use, just so we know.
I will have Mr. Pizzetti provide an update.
Thank
We do, what I've done, since Mr. McAuliffe left, I did have a department head meeting the next day maybe, and we meet, the teams meet after the second Board of Selectmen meeting of every month, and I hold a the first, and I hold a department head meeting after the second meeting of the month. So tomorrow morning, I'll be holding a department head meeting. So once a month, I'm meeting with the teams, and then I'm meeting with the department heads in total once a month also.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Make a motion to approve the Assistant Town Administrator's report,
Second.
or Acting Town Administrator's report, sorry, not an assistant.
I respond to anything.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Courtney, pull the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Jolda?
Yes.
Selectman Dugevich?
Yes.
Chairman Board?
Yes. Under old business, the SRF amendment for Phase 2.
Mr. Chairman, usually the town administrator signs off on this. However, in this case, because it is an SRF loan, it's required that the entire Board of Selectmen vote to authorize this and sign off. This amendment was required because of timing. There were additional timing that was required by Ty and Bond in order to close out the Phase 2 of the project down at the wastewater treatment facility.
Questions from the board?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, just to clarify, this is an additional $8,500 that will incur?
Correct. Which is funded through a low-interest SRF loan.
So I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Courtney, pull the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Jolda?
Yes.
Selectman Dugevich?
Yes.
Chairman Board?
Yes. Also under old business is the town council use policy that the acting town administrator has given to us that we've talked about a few months ago, or actually maybe, a month ago? What is the thoughts of the board?
Mr. Chairman, if I could, this reads pretty well. I think the only question I have is if, the way I see it is there's a difference between opinions of town council and pursuing litigation. My question is as far as opinions of town council, if the Board of Selectmen is exempt through this policy, because I don't really see any particular language in that. So, hearing no opinions, then I guess my assumption would be correct.
Well, I think if you look at the last sentence of the second paragraph, request for an opinion and/or utilization of services by the Board of Selectmen shall not require the approval of the town administrator. I guess the question that I actually penciled in too was, therefore, do we have to have a vote, a majority vote?
That's essentially what I'm asking, because I feel at least, the Board of Selectmen, being the, essentially keepers of the highest executive office, I feel don't really need babysitting as far as, opinions of council when our legal budget, in my opinion, has been very modest. As far as litigation, obviously, I think that's a group decision, but as far as a quick phone call here or there, I think that would be the exception.
Yeah, but there is in the next sentence, the third paragraph, which is something I think makes sense, and in fact did happen with regards to, the recent meeting that the police chief wanted to have on the Indian Princess, where a quick decision was needed, and I think that makes perfect sense as well, so. So, I guess the question comes up, I think that one makes sense. Should we have a majority vote, is the question, if the Board of Selectmen wants to use town council, or if a member of the board wants to use town council.
We think it should be a majority.
As far as the litigation,
Right.
I agree. My question more specifically is realistically, if one of us needs a legal opinion on a personal level, which I don't think anyone's really chatting anybody up on an evening conversation every Friday night, but I think that is just, that we're all responsible enough to that capacity.
You know, if someone goes to the well too often, then we can address it at that time, I would think, right? I think we're all no more.
Well,
We're not gonna call town council every day.
Well, my thought is
At that time.
specifically for the chair, that I mean, their duties are
Yep.
a little more significant than a regular member, and if they need just a quick opinion, instead of going through a procedural thing in a meeting, and they need to call somebody, I'm looking forward, to, the current chair, future boards, or realistically anybody, that it just doesn't seem like we, put a policy in place to solve a problem, not just to have a policy. That's just my 2 cents.
But again, referring to the last sentence of the second paragraph, I would suggest maybe adding in there where it says, request for an opinion and/or utilization of services of town council by the Board of Selectmen shall not require the approval of the town administrator, but should require a majority of the board vote, would be a way to deal with that and be clear. And then in the third paragraph, it does give the carve-out that if there's an emergency, the chairman of the Board of Selectmen is able to contact town council. There might be a few words in there we would want to add that would say, and then, to make sure that the chair notified the board.
So are you recommending an amendment?
I am, in those 2 places, I would suggest.
All right. So can you just
So
specify that?
at the end of the second paragraph,
Mhm.
I would add on to that, subject to the Board of Selectmen requiring majority vote to utilize town council. Because it does say request an opinion and/or utilization of services. And this sentence says, the board does not have to deal with going through the town administrator, but the board should make a vote. So that's in essence what I would suggest adding in there. And then in the next paragraph, that's just a 1-sentence paragraph, similar to the notification requirements up above, there should simply be a notification as soon as practical that the chairman let the Board of Selectmen know that town council has been, had a question. So I mean, other than that, I thought it was great. I think it's a very good policy and good to have this policy.
So maybe what we do is,
The next meeting?
we can have this policy drawn up and then we can vote on it at next meeting so we can, you fine with that?
I'm still not a huge supporter of it, but, if this is the vision of the board, then that's the direction the board's gonna take.
No, I guess I would make that in the form of a motion to have those amendments put in place so that we can all see what it would actually look like.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any other discussion? Pull the board.
Selectman Becker?
Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Jolda?
Yes.
Selectman Degevich?
Yes.
Chairman Porter?
Yes. Next item on the agenda is the town-owned facilities use policy.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I'm going to ask the board to give me some more time to put that together. I want this policy to be very comprehensive, to include the process itself, fees, the insurance requirements, which we have been reviewing. So I just want it to be a comprehensive policy, so we only do this once, and we do it the right
Sure.
way. So I ask that you give me till the August 3rd meeting to put that together.
That's fine. Next item on the agenda was something that I asked to put on. I was approached by a potential restaurateur in Webster who is interested in possibly opening up a restaurant on Thompson Road, but does not want to seek a liquor license. He knows that we do not have any liquor licenses available in town. I don't think we do anyways. Only downtown liquor licenses. So I don't think in my time that we've been here, did we ever have a discussion about a bring your own booze policy. So I just wanted to throw it out there as something for us to think about. A lot of other towns do have it. As Mrs. Regis has given to us, that there was just one that was just recently adopted in Charlton as of 5/26/2015. So it's something that we, if we wanted to look at, we can explore for the future. I certainly don't want to discourage businesses from coming into town who are not looking to seek liquor licenses, who just want to have a BYOB policy. We would have to take the first step in having a BYOB policy. So maybe what we can do is, it's certainly up to the board if we want to look at this more and then take it up at our next meeting.
We can also have that hearing when we get the.
We can also post a public hearing.
In town, them coming twice.
When would you like to post a public hearing? How full is this next meeting?
We have it, again, we're starting at 6, and that doesn't, besides the agenda items that we're tabling to next meeting, we don't have a lot.
Do we want to post this for the second meeting in August
Sure.
for a public hearing? Okay.
So the 17th.
17.
Do we have any contacts in any of these other towns maybe we could get some opinions from? I don't know if anybody maybe knows somebody from Charlton. Maybe if we could get Mrs. Graver to just get her opinion,
Sure.
since they're dealing with that, would be helpful.
We also have an inn in Northbridge now.
I was gonna say, I actually know a selector from Northbridge as well. Oh, yeah, no, Melissa's over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't even make the connection.
Let's see any of the
Sure.
local towns that have a BYOB policy.
Sure.
They make some phone calls.
Maybe
Sure.
we can invite her to the public hearing. Good, thank you. Also under old business, something that I wanted to, actually, no, I'll bring it on the time of posting. Is there any other old business? New business. Vote to amend the regular session meeting minutes of March 23rd, 2015. Formation, that's the second line.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. When Courtney and I were dealing with one of those open meeting law violation notices that came in, we were reviewing minutes, and in doing that, we found an error in the March 23rd meeting minutes. It stated that the Board of Selectmen voted to go into executive session when in fact there was no executive session that day. There was none. So the minutes just need to be amended to reflect that. That the board just adjourned, and that was in fact the case.
So I'll make a motion to approve the amendment to the March 23rd meeting minutes.
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any other discussion? Courtney, pull the board.
Selectman Becker?
I abstain.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Jolda?
Yes.
Selectman Dugevich?
Yes.
Chairman Ford?
Yes. Next item on the agenda was another item I asked to be put on the agenda was the formation of an economic development committee for the town of Webster. As we go through and we see some of these other towns that are out there and we go onto their websites, we do see that the majority of towns, small or large, or cities, have an economic development committee. And I think it would behoove us as a board to put together a economic development committee. I did talk to Carol downstairs, and Carol says she's all for it. I did talk to Megan downstairs, and she's all for it. To come up with ideas to bring into business. May it be small, may it be large, may it be a BYOB policy, anything of that nature, but also follow the guidelines of what other towns do as well. So that's something for the board to also take in and think about, but I think it's time that we need to reach out to businesses that are out there that are not in our region and try to attract them one way or another to Webster, to bring in some economic development. One of the things that just sparked this whole thing was Mr. Dalgevich, who brought up about a year ago getting 5 licenses for downtown Webster, liquor licenses, and that should be for us an easy thing to bring in restaurants downtown Webster, and it hasn't come to where I think that we kind of expected it to happen. But now's the time, I think, that if we can get a committee together that works under that whole idea of economic development, that we may be able to spark some more interest in bringing it into Webster. Any comments, suggestions? Am I out of my mind?
No, I think that's actually a
Anytime we
good
can
idea.
try to attract more business is always a positive.
Yeah, and
Check with any other towns in the area and see how they're set up, and maybe get their rules and so forth, and take it from there.
so I think it's a great idea, and I think that we should look to develop the committee with probably a representative from the Board of Selectmen on it, and we should probably also work in conjunction with the Master Plan Implementation Committee, because I feel that goes pretty hand in hand as well. Maybe siphoning off at least a member from that, and then trying to probably find a target town and maybe see if they would be willing to meet with either us or the newly formed committee, just as a form of brainstorming session of maybe if they've gone through a similar transition as we're facing.
I am just the person. Just the
So
person
do
for
we
that.
want to, do we need to take a vote to form this committee? And then once we get the parameters, we can put the parameters out there? Or
I guess my recommendation, Mr. Chairman, would be to hold off and see how others are formed
other towns?
and the guidelines that they fall under, and have, I like Selectman Starzik's idea of having someone come in, or a few people from local communities with EDCs to come in and talk about what they do in their communities, and if it works or not. So, we can schedule that if you want.
If I could further that too, I'm also wondering maybe if we could get somebody from the CMRPC to come down as well, because I know they have some really good resources for stuff like that,
Yep.
and would be able to probably help us in that journey as well. I know their office is usually very accommodating
Sure.
as far as those resources.
Okay. When would we like to schedule that for?
Well, if we maybe can over the next 2 weeks get something in our packet from the other towns, some ideas that they've had, or maybe they have a flyer or brochure that they use to attract business. I know in Charlton she has, Mrs. Craver has a CD that she uses. I don't know if it's for economic development or if it's just for actually I think it is for someone who's moving into town, a business that's moving into town. It's all on the CD. Maybe if we have that for our next meeting, and then for the second meeting in August, maybe we can have someone from CMRPC to come in, or maybe even your representative that you know, come in and give us some sort of an idea to start forming this committee.
I know that when I served on the council in the town of Southbridge, our EDC is the one who put together our expedited permitting package, which went a long way for construction and businesses and things like that. So they do, and I know that Mrs. Craver, she did a great job on
Right.
that, her EDC.
The Chamber of Commerce might even be a big, help performing this, the local chamber.
Okay.
Yeah, and certainly the Downtown Business
Yeah.
Association as
Sure.
well.
Yep.
It's a great
And we
idea.
certainly want residents involved on this committee as well. Besides just any
Absolutely.
calls, we want, not just this town hall, we want people on it. Good, thank you. Any other new business?
You guys have something? Right, no?
Informational mail.
Mr. Chairman, we got a letter from a resident, which I think they're looking for an abatement from the looks of this. Do we know if this was formally submitted to the water department for an abatement?
Yes.
Yes, Selectman Starzak, that in my
That's in your, the same
report.
person?
Right,
Okay.
I did attach that for your review, so
I will hand it that
if
way.
you want to review it, and
Okay.
we can take it up next time if you'd like.
Thank you.
Any other informational mail? Other business unknown at time of posting, and this is where I'll go back. Maybe you discussed it at the last meeting, I didn't see it in the minutes though, or maybe you didn't, have we done the 30-day cycle for that, the dog issue? I was just following up on that. The
Oh,
last.
for the,
Yes, yes.
Savitas?
Seventies?
Yeah, have we done that 30-day cycle, and where do we stand with that?
I'm sure it is past the 30 days, because actually the follow-up was done at the June 6th meeting. So the 30 days is over with. We'll have to follow up with the animal control officer to see where we stand with that.
Can we get a status on that for
Sure.
our next meeting?
Yes.
Any other business at the moment, time of posting? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn. Whoops. Courtney, poll the board.
Selectman Becker?
Does that mean we cannot adjourn if you can't gavel? Yes.
Selectman Starzak?
Yes.
Selectman Jolda?
Yes.
Selectman Duggan?
Yes.
Chairman Boyd?
Yes.
You gotta fix that. We don't have money to replace
I
it.
just.